What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be doing a book review. I decided to read Echo Burning by Lee Child, which is the fifth book in the Jack Reacher series from 2001, and it's a series that is one of my favourites, and I thought I was really in the mood to revisit one of the Reacher books. And I remember 10 years ago, or over 10 years ago, reading Echo Burning for the first time and remember enjoying it, and also remember it being one of my favourites, and I was delighted to delve into the pages again. And the best thing about the Reacher series, if you're a first time reader, is you can technically read them out of order. So even when you're going back for a reread, you don't have to go back from the start. You can just pick anywhere along Reacher's timeline and you'll be fine. And just a quick disclaimer before I start, I've decided to change the formats of book reviews slightly. You'll see my face at the start of the video, but as I'm reviewing it, I've decided to make good use of a microphone I bought at the start of the year, and it hasn't had much use, and I'm experimenting with a podcast format, if you will, so that I can concentrate and not miss anything. And that's something that I've done in the past. I've finished a review and I've gone back later and I've thought to myself, after it's been published on YouTube, that geez, I could have mentioned this or I could have mentioned that. So talking and looking at the camera, trying to review a book, even if I've got notes to the side, it's very distracting for people, for me to be looking at the notes as I'm talking. So I'm going to do away with that, and it just means my voice will come across a lot better, a lot less editing, which is the other main thing as well. If I'm doing a full video without any notes, I tend to make a lot of mistakes, and I spend a lot of time in the editing chair trying to fix up the videos. But doing it this way will make it a lot more smoother. It will make the content a little bit better, and it will mean less time taken, which means a bit more productivity. So here we go. Without further ado, let's get into the review. I remember this as being one of my favourites and haven't read it for at least 10 years, so I really enjoyed this reread. So what is it about? So let's read the cover blurb first of all. Hitching rides is an unreliable mode of transport. In temperatures of over 100 degrees, you're lucky if a driver will open the door of his air-conditioned car long enough to let you slide in. That's Jack Reacher's conclusion. He's adrift in the fearsome heat of a Texas summer, and he needs to keep moving through the wide open vastness like a shark in the water. The last thing he's worried about is exactly who picks him up. He never expected it to be somebody like Carmen. She's alone, driving a Cadillac. She's beautiful, young and rich. She has a little girl who is being watched by unseen observers, and a husband who is in jail, who will beat her senseless when he comes out, if he doesn't kill her first. Reacher is no stranger to trouble, and at Carmen's remote ranch in Echo County there is plenty of it. Lies and prejudice, hatred and murder. Reacher can never resist a lady in distress. Her family is hostile. The cops can't be trusted. The lawyers won't help. If Reacher can't set things straight, who can? Alright, so we find Reacher in Texas the night after he smacks around a guy in a bar, and he's ready to move out. He gets picked up surprisingly quickly by Carmen, a woman in trouble who feels trapped. She's married to a rancher called Sloop, who is currently behind bars for tax fraud and is about to be released, and she claims he's abusive and tells Reacher it wasn't coincidence that she picked him up. So she asks for Reacher's help for her and her daughter, and to Reacher it all seems wrong. She wants Sloop killed so the abuse can stop. He eventually agrees to accompany her to Sloop's farm to check things out, but he will not. He says he won't be killing anybody. Just too risky and unnecessary. And he poses as a ranch hand, although Reacher knows nothing about horses, so it's a bit of a risk. But he agrees to just look the situation over and see what he can do to help Carmen. Now, he does show her how to shoot a gun that she bought recently, and it's not long before the mystery begins to unfold. A lot of stuff happens here, guys, and it's a lot to take in. So things don't end up adding up. Sloop gets out of prison, and then after being home for a short while, he gets shot by Carmen, allegedly. It's here where so many questions are raised that it hurts your head. There appears to be a conspiracy involving 3 assassins who want the local DA, Sloop, and a local lawyer dead. A mystery that goes back decades to something that happened along the border with Mexicans being killed by a rogue unit of young blokes. and it's up to Reacher, with the help of a local pro bono lawyer, to get to the bottom of what's going on before it's too late, and to clear Carmen's name before she gets put away for life and loses her daughter Ellie forever. The best thing I like about Reacher is he's not only a badass where he can smack anyone around and wins pretty much 100% of his fights, but he can unravel clues brilliantly. He's got a really, really good mind for it. After all, he was a top investigator in the MPs at West Point for 13 years, so he has the ability to really think outside the square, and he can use his mind just as well as his muscles to solve problems. But with this, there are so many twists and turns. It's over 500 pages, so a lot of events happen in this book, and Lee Child executes it brilliantly and ties everything up at the end. But it makes for a really good read. I'm glad I picked it up again, and it's especially touching how Reacher has a soft spot for kids, and the exchange between himself and Ellie is very well written. You see a bit of a tenderness to Reacher that you don't normally see that often, and it's really nice to read those kind of scenes. Now, there aren't many fights in this one, but I enjoyed the closure at the end, and the big reveal about the main conspirator behind everything is all tied up neatly, and there's a nice little denouement or ending, and just so glad I picked it up. So if you haven't read it, I hope I haven't spoiled too much. I tried not to have many spoilers in this, but if you haven't read a Jack Reacher book, it's certainly one to pick up. You don't have to read them necessarily in a set order. So the last thing I'll say is Echo Burning was such a good read that Amazon Prime should be doing Echo Burning as Season 2 for the Reacher series rather than Die Trying. I mean, Die Trying is a really, really good book, but I think Echo Burning would have made a great Series 2 for Reacher. Well, that's it, guys. That's the review. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you pick up a Reacher book soon if you haven't already and start the series. He is a fantastic character, and I'll be reviewing a few more of his books moving forward. So hopefully doing that sooner rather than later. So as always, please put in any comments below and I'll always respond to those. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. But until next time, guys, see you later.